So, your boy HMK recently made a Nintendo Direct prediction video, and watching that got me fired up and inspired to throw my own hat into the ring. Go subscribe to him at the end of the video, by the way. He makes great content. Also, don't forget to follow me on Twitter, join my Discord, and to like, comment, and subscribe if you enjoyed this video at the end. It would really help me out. With all that out of the way, let's get into the predictions then. I'm hyped for this. Let's get one of the big topics out of the way first, and that's Smash Bros. Ultimate. Recently, a leak for DLC Pack 4 was shown to the public. I'm not going to say who the character might be, because, like HMK said, Nintendo ninjas. But I will say that this new character seems to be really spicy, so that's something to get hyped for. Moving on, this Direct is going to have a main focus on both Pokemon Sword and Shield and Luigi's Mansion 3. For Pokemon, I don't know how I feel about Sword and Shield due to Game Freak's handling of animations, the gameplay mechanics like Dynamax, the graphics, the fact that there's no national dex, and just about how they went about doing public relations for this game in general. It would take quite a lot of impressive feats to get me interested in Sword and Shield again, so I guess announcing that there will be free national dex DLC later on would be an excellent starting point. I still think that if Game Freak wants to improve and fix some of the glaring problems with Pokemon nowadays, Generation 4 remakes would be the de facto games to do it with, but might as well start with improving Sword and Shield, right? I'm getting off topic a little bit, let's get back to the predictions. With Luigi's Mansion 3, it looks really interesting, and if I were to pick it up, it would be the very first game that I would have played in the Luigi's Mansion series, so I'll definitely keep my eyes on it. I expect maybe some gameplay and a few cinematic trailers. Now, another big title that Nintendo might show off just a little more is Dragon Quest XI-S. This game is going to be absolutely huge for Dragon Quest. For years, Square Enix has been trying to break into the West with Dragon Quest, and this just might be the game to do it. Sure, all the games that came before it served to more solidify its presence in the West, but this game will most likely be the explosive release that Dragon Quest has been looking for ever since the original Dragon Quest released back in 1986. They'll probably show off just a bit more of the new features like 2D gameplay and more of the orchestrated soundtrack, with the recent success of the Dragon Quest Builders games and the hero in Super Smash Bros. Ultimate serving to further hype and bolster this game's impact. Dragon Quest XI-S will release this September on the 27th, and will obviously be a must-buy for me since I'm a huge Dragon Quest fan. If they do show more material for this game, which I'm hoping they do, it will most likely serve the purpose of generating more hype for this game and reminding people that it's coming out soon. It should be noted that this particular Direct will have somewhat of a focus on 2019 titles, but that does not mean that we won't see any info on titles coming out in 2020 as well. With that being said, we could possibly get another look at Breath of the Wild 2 this Direct, and just the thought of that is extremely hype and exciting. You can't tell it, but I'm slapping my hands together because I'm so excited. I honestly cannot wait for the return of traditional dungeons, a much darker tone for Zelda storytelling, one that we haven't seen since Majora's Mask, and what might be for the first time in the Zelda series, a fully voiced Ganondorf. And no, I do not count the CDI games. Another game that we might get a tiny bit of info on is Metroid Prime 4. The Metroid Prime series is quite legendary because it was the first foray into 3D games for the Metroid franchise, and was very successful in what it was trying to achieve. A return to the Metroid series with just a hint of gameplay or a cinematic trailer would be most welcome. Like Luigi's Mansion 3, if I were to pick up Metroid Prime 4, this would be my first game that I would have played in the franchise. I'll probably pick this up when it comes out too. There's also the Link's Awakening Switch remake that's coming soon, and that looks very promising. The art style eventually grew on me, and the Dungeon Maker looks like a very groundbreaking feature that could possibly be its own game in the future. I think that they'll just show off a final trailer before it's released during tomorrow's Direct to build up as much hype as possible. I think I'll pick up Breath of the Wild 2 first, but I'll make sure to come back for this too. I still need to finish Breath of the Wild 1 before I get to the sequel, as a matter of fact. We will probably get some more info on Animal Crossing New Horizons as well. This will be yet another must-buy for me, as I spent quite the number of hours playing and enjoying everything New Leaf had to offer, and just couldn't get enough of it. Now, for my last big prediction, I predict that we might just see this new Dragon Quest Monsters game at the new Direct in some way, shape, or form. If not at this Nintendo Direct, then maybe sometime after Dragon Quest XI's releases, as Square Enix may not wish to take away from the impact that DQ11S will have for the franchise on its release date on the 27th of September. My main reasoning behind the new DQM game being shown off at this Direct, or at least in the very near future, is that if we look at the various release times for Dragon Quest monster games, it's usually a good 3 or 4 years between titles, so it would logically seem that this game is going to be released sometime in 2020. We already know that the announcement for this new DQM game was made back in September of 2018, and that was almost a year ago, but I would have to guess that this new game started its development shortly after the Switch itself kicked off with Breath of the Wild back in 2017. This was also around the same time that Dragon Quest Monsters Joker 3 Professional was released, with that being released in February of 2017. If I had to be totally honest, they'll probably save this game for a future Direct or event, but there's still a possibility of it happening. Due to Dragon Quest's recent successes outside of Japan, I really do think that we'll get this new DQM game localized. This new DQM game would mark the spin-off series' return to the West, as we haven't had a DQM game ever since DQM J2 all the way back in 2011 to be fully localized in English. Anyways, those are all my thoughts and predictions for this new Nintendo Direct tomorrow. I might have missed a few noteworthy titles or franchises, but if I did, you can go check out HMK's prediction video in the description, as he also does a great job with theory crafting when it comes to announcements for Nintendo Directs. I want to see if I can record my reactions to this new Nintendo Direct tomorrow. I just don't have a face cam at all. I also won't be able to do it immediately when it goes live, as I have to go to the dentist tomorrow to get a filling done. So that sucks. I'd say to expect some sort of reaction to the Nintendo Direct sometime this afternoon, after the numbness wears off, of course. Psh. Thank you for watching today's video. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. If you've enjoyed the content, that is. Don't forget to go check out HMK's channel too, as he does great work with Zelda, Nintendo content in general, Square Enix content, and Kingdom Hearts 2 to boot. Have a great day, everyone!